Well, 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 what do we have here? I think we just found ourselves a new camera. I probably don't need a new camera. I wonder how expensive it is. Okay, maybe the silver one also? No, just one. Does it even work? Hey, I think it does. You're coming home with me, baby Argus. I'm gonna make some pictures with you. But first, you're going to need a bath. Sounds like your shutter is working properly. Now, how does your film winder work? What's this floppity toggly? Is B for bulb? What is I for? Tell me your secrets. We went shopping the other day, and this is the first time that shopping has actually led to something good. Everybody keeps saying that they're able to find these amazing vintage cameras at thrift stores, and every time I check thrift stores, I never find anything good. Today was an exception. Today we found something truly beautiful, and here you can see, not even lying, the Argus camera. $25, lot number 905. I'm pretty sure it works, at least maybe. I know that when you crank the shutter, it's actually opening and firing. The rangefinder holes here are very dirty, very messy. You can't even look through them. I'm gonna tear this thing apart and clean it all up, make it nice and pretty, and see if it's possible to shoot with. I love this, the whole mechanical feeling here. This gear turning the lens for the focusing and everything. I'm not totally sure what's going on here. This is your shutter speed, and it goes from 4 to 8. So if anybody knows what that means, I assume 8 is probably the fast shutter speed and 4 is the slower shutter speed. The way you advance film in this thing is pretty odd. There's this little lever here that you toggle, so you'll take a photo and then you flip this over like that, start winding it, and then release it, and then you wind this until it butts up against that thing and it clicks and stops, and so you always have to turn that, flip that. It's kind of unique, but wow, it's a pretty camera. This is the Argus C3 Matchmatic is what its official name is. Quick little update on the Argus. It's kind of going all right. We've got its top hat taken off. I'm trying to clean its rangefinder, lube up some of the gearing on it that's really sticky. I really can't figure out too much of what's going on with it. The problem is that this one's really clear. I can see through that really well, but this one is just filthy. This one's just for composition. This is where you actually do your focusing, and it's totally gunked up and grimed up. The problem is that it's not so much that the outer part is dirty, but it's the inner part that's in here. So I need to disassemble this whole thing, and you can see in here it's just super foggy, and the fog and gunk is on the inside there. So I got to figure out how to take this little snap ring off and get it so I can actually clean that whole thing properly. So I've got a feeling that I'm going to end up pulling off pretty much everything and disassembling this whole thing as much as I can so that I can pop this out. Maybe if I can get this snap ring off, I can pop out just the actual lens part of it and clean it, but who knows. It's turning into be a pretty big project. After many hours, I finally got the Argus all clean, and I was pretty sure I knew how to use it. even though I completely botched setting the film counter back to 0 before putting the film in. We're going to bring the light meter with us because numbers. Slide that baby on, and let's go shoot. First, this old man has to turn off the lights.
Good boy. Let's go see what we can see in the museum.
Bonus tip, your monopod can be used as a kick-ass cane, as well as a long-distance scritch giver. Now we're off to the museum, but first I gotta level up my Charmander. Alright, back to photography. And hey, the Argus actually seems to work. I absolutely love this image of the kid in the school bus. The first thing I noticed was that I'm too forgetful to shoot the Argus. I was constantly forgetting to wind the film between shots, so I ended up with a ton of double exposures. Okay, this time I for sure remembered to wind the film. Oh, never mind. Doubled up again. Kinda rad though. Ah, see? I'm learning. Now I know I wound the film. Really quite happy with how this camera is performing so far. It does really well when there's enough light. Let's see how it does indoors. Ah yes, nice and blurry. Oh, these books look nice. And another double exposure. Remember, we wind the film, then crank the shutter. Oh, this is weird. These boots have no legs. And we've got ourselves another happy accident. Do you think Bob Ross likes double exposures? Researching some photos that are much better than mine. Thinking about some compositions. Oh, we really like these dots. And another double exposure. This one, honestly, I'm kinda into. Okay, I wound the film for sure this time. Let's take a photo. And we love it. Shooting in the museum was not really ideal for the Argus with a max aperture of 3.5 and my shaky hands, but I'm still really pleased with the images that came out of it. On my walk home, I took a really blurry image and then met up with my brother to try out some studio lights. Take it to full juice.
Full juice.
Okay, this might be able to give me enough shutter speed. I need my tape measure. Okay, so my minimum focusing distance is 3 feet.
Remember, you have to measure from the sensor.
How many is 3 feet? 36? So that is there. That's where I want to be. Cause see, now when I look through this, it says it's out of focus, but we don't really know.
Ding! It's like a timer.
That sounded slower.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that was, okay, so
Yeah, that.
It was like,
that one is slower.
oh my gosh. This is wild.
Yeah.
I use my left eyeball. 1, 2, 3. That's sick.
It's so
Okay.
stupid.
Let's take a roll of film here.
Cause I set my winder at 14, cause that made sense to me. So now I have to just watch until my winder gets back to 14 when I know the film is done. Not knowing that the Argus is pretty terrible at low light, I continued shooting a few frames of Easter Sunday, and like clockwork, forgot to wind the film yet again. Although I'm actually really liking these accidents. I wonder if that's how parents feel sometimes. After we finished celebrating Jesus' return to the Matrix, I went out to finish the last roll, just wandering around an empty campus with the squirrel hunter. I must have made a mistake when cleaning the rangefinder on this camera because nearly everything is out of focus. And I remember specifically taking my time to really check if my split patch was lined up. So I guess we're probably gonna have to go back into surgery. The Argus is by no means a fast camera. The constant switching between rangefinder and composition holes, it's really kind of a pain. It's ridiculously easy to forget to wind your film. It's loud, it's clunky, and I don't know if the images it produces are worth the hassle of it. But on the other hand, I really had a blast shooting with this thing, and everybody I ran into while shooting with it wanted to stop and see just what on earth I was doing. It's a fun, goofy camera, and our dear friend and fellow wizard Colin Creevy actually gave it his official stamp of approval. So yeah, this camera will protect you from a basilisk, with only slight paralysis. Up here. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Stick. Sit. Good boy, come here. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Making Mistakes with Cameras. Why don't you maybe subscribe? I'll teach you how to not take pictures. It'll be good for you.